Hello, my name is Johnie Perryman, and this is going to be a part of. I'm going to redo one of the videos I just made because when I made it, it couldn't be shared, and this video will be able to share. Now, this video I want shared with anybody and everybody that want to watch it, and so I don't want Facebook saying that I don't want to share it. But I had some questions from some people in Africa, and I thought I would just give some information that I think everyone would be interested in. Now, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. He didn't use any other tools, but He created the whole universe just with His mind, just with His thought, and just with His word. Now, God also said that He created us in His image. Just like Jesus said, there'll be those that come after me, they'll do greater works than I. And so when He created us in His image, He gave our words power. He gave our thoughts power. When you look and see what this world is into today, this world was created by our thoughts and our mind and our words. And we create the world every day. You create your own world and I create my own world. Sometimes you have two people that have absolutely no understanding of each other. And actually, in a manner of speaking, they're living in different worlds. And you wonder why you can't get through to them. And they're probably wondering why they can't get through with you, but you're living in different worlds. Now, one of the things that the Bible says is with the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Now, when you look back at 10,000 years ago with Tahuti, Thoth, Hermes Trismegistus, they're all the same person, but they just got different names because the Greeks changed their names. The original name was Thoth, Thoth. And they had all of the ancient wisdom then that scientists are just now finding out today. And one of the important things is, and everybody's seen it in their Bibles if they read the Bible, with the faith of a mustard seed you can move a mountain. But nobody seemed to know how to use that faith. And you have more than the faith of a mustard seed. So you should be able to create all kinds of things out here. I'm going to give you sort of an idea of what we're doing wrong. Like, for instance, you can sit there and say, "I'm going to get that job, I'm going to get that job, I'm going to get that job." Or you can say, "I'm going to get this money, I'm going to make this money." Or you can say, I'm going to get this car, I'm going to get this car is mine, it's mine. And just the way you're saying it, you're telling your subconscious mind that you don't have it. It ain't yours. That ain't faith. See? But we use faith every day and don't even know we use it. When we walk into the house, and the faith that we use creates miracles. Let me give you an example. When you walk into the house and it's dark, you reach over and you flick the light switch on and you don't even think about it, you know. You know that the room is going to light up. You know that. All right? You flicked it on, it's going to light up. Now, 1,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, when they were more knowledgeable than us, if people walked into a room and flicked the light switch in and the whole room lit up, they would think it's a miracle. He created a miracle, or she created a miracle. Now, you think that light switch comes on because it's plugged into electricity, because you got a light bulb, and that's all part of it. But what happens if you walk into a house and you get ready to turn the light switch on, and you say to yourself, wow, that light bulb's been in there for 5 years. I hope it come on. I think it'll still come on because it's got to blow out one day. And then you flip the switch up and the light blows out. That's happened to me before. See, every other time I flipped that switch up, the light came on. It came on because I had faith. Not the kind of faith where I got to say, oh, please, light, come on, please, light, come on. Not that kind of faith at all. The kind of faith where you know that light is going to come on. You don't even have to think about it. You just reach and flick the light on. You have to have that kind of faith. Jesus never begged God to heal anybody. He just said, get up and walk. You're healed. See? And so, if you know how to allow yourself to believe in something, no matter what it is, and have just as much faith as you have when you turn on a light switch, it'll happen. Now, you look at what when Thoth first said that God is mind, in other words, God creates from a thought and from his mind. Back when he said that, people weren't flying in airplanes. And it would be a miracle to think 400 people can get in an airplane and fly thousands of miles in a few hours. That would have been a miracle. It would have been a miracle if you could turn on a record player and play orchestras from all over the world. That would have been a miracle. It would have been a miracle if you could open up a refrigerator to keep the food cold and have food in there from all over the world. That would have been a miracle. If you could to get in a car and drive somewhere, that would have been a miracle. Back 10,000 years ago. And 10,000 years ago, they were further ahead in a lot of ways in science than we are today. We're just not catching up with quantum physics. Now think of all of those things that would have been a miracle back 10,000 years ago. Today, you take it for granted. You have faith that those things will happen. You don't even think anything about it. It's no big thing. And so how did those things come to pass? First of all, somebody got the idea that it could be done. All right? And then after that, either that person or someone else got it in their head. They knew they could do it. And they had faith in it, and they created. All of these miracles was created the same way. They first thought of it, and then they had faith, and then there it was. And so you can use faith today to create also. There's a couple other things that I would say need to go along with it. When you take a look at the Bible, now Jesus says in the Bible that there'll be those that come after me, they'll do greater works than I. But there were things that the Deuteronomists and the Catholic Church took out of the Bible. And there was other things that they added to the Bible, which sort of changed the way this earth is functioning. Like one of the things they took out of the Bible is where Jesus said, those who eat from my mouth will become me. And so what he was saying is if you listen to what I have to say, you will be Jesus yourself. Those who eat from my mouth will become me. And they took that out of the Bible. And at one time in the Bible, there was a Father God, and then there was a Mother Wisdom. God was a father and a mother, the male and the female, Father God and Mother Wisdom. And the way God created is, he would send his energy to the female, and the female created everything. She gave birth to everything. Energy came from God, the female created. And they call her Mother Nature now. But that was in the Bible until around the year 450, when it was taken out of the Bible. You had the Deuteronomists and you had the Catholic Church changing the Bible. But anyway, they wanted to take away the female influence that was in the Bible. And another thing they did to take away the female influence is they said that women couldn't preach or be over a church, taking the female away from the Bible. Even though Mary Magdalene was Jesus' woman, but then they said that she was a prostitute. That came directly from the Catholic Church, and the Pope recently apologized for them telling that lie. And another thing they did put in the Bible is the snake and the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the forbidden fruit. Now, there was no tree of knowledge of good and evil or forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. Now, if you look at why they put those in the Bible, like thousands of years ago, and even today, in Egypt, they had the sign of the cobra. And they use the cobra now on a staff, going up a staff for the sign for medicine, for healing. And that cobra is a sign of your kundalini. And your kundalini gets awakened in the base of your spine, and through meditations and other things, it rises all the way up to your pineal gland. And when your pineal gland opens up, then you're open up to so much more wisdom. That's why they say knowledge of good and evil, but it is knowledge that you're opening up to. Now, why wouldn't God want you to have knowledge? Well, God do want you to have knowledge. That's why he put the tree of life in the Garden of Eden, and you're welcome to eat as much of that fruit as you want to. Is later on when people changed and also put the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the snake in the Garden of Eden, and then had Eve be the one to be the first to eat of the fruit and to give it to Adam. And that's still putting the punishment of sin and all of that, the accusations on the female. All right? Now, we have a male and a female in our brain, so that's like we have a left side of the brain and a right side of the brain. Now, your left brain is male, and it does things like calculating and logic and those type of things. And your right side of your brain is female, and female is more creative, the artist type, and like I say, the male sends energy to the female, and the female creates. All right. God would send energy from his male side to his female side, and his female side created the earth and everything in it. Now, you can do the same thing, all right? But they took the female out for the reason they did that. The church, for instance, is because if you knew that you could eat fruit from the tree of life for wisdom, because the female is called mother wisdom, if you knew you could get wisdom that way, and if you followed the way the Bible was originally written and achieved this wisdom and achieved this level where you were Jesus Christ, what would happen? You wouldn't need the church anymore, because you'd have a direct connection to God. When you get your wisdom and when your kundalini goes up and your third eye opens, it gives you a direct connection to God. But the church wanted you to go through the church in order to get to God, and they wanted to have that power over you. When you look at what this change in the Bible has done, is the female part was the soul of the earth. All right? And by taking the female part out of all of these things, and you look at the women, how long it took before they got the right to vote in this country. They didn't allow the women to vote in this country. When you take a look at how many female senators you have, when you take a look at the female position in life, what we're doing is we're taking all the feminine parts off of the earth and have nothing but masculine parts. And masculine parts, what do? They start wars and killing each other. They chase the dollar. The whole goal in life is to get as many dollars as they can. And when they get all of these dollars, what they do is they hold things in front of you and make you think there's so much wonderful stuff in it that you want to get it. And so therefore you go get a job and you either buy a house with a 30-year mortgage or you buy a car with years you got to pay on it. And so you got to get up and go to work every day to make all them payments. And then you go home and go to sleep and you eat just enough to get energy to go back to the job. You're a slave. See, there's nobody full of wisdom that's a slave. You cannot have wisdom and be a slave. In order for them to keep you a slave, they have to keep wisdom away from you. And they did it through the Bible. Another thing they do is they put fluoride in your water, and that fluoride calcifies your pineal gland, and your pineal gland is your connection to God. It will allow you to see into the future and see in the past, and it's a direct connection to God. And so every time you drink water and with fluoride in it, it's calcifying your pineal gland. Every time you brush your teeth with fluoride in it, it's calcifying your pineal gland. Fluoride is what Hitler gave to the Jews when he had them in the concentration camps to keep them under control. You are under control. Now, when you use the left brain only to run this earth, your mind creates, all right? Your thoughts create and your words create. And when you use the left brain only, you're having thoughts without the compassion. You're having thoughts without the soul. This earth don't have a soul anymore. We got people hating each other for no reason. We changed the Department of War to the Department of Defense because at one time we decided the only reason we want to use all of this is to defend ourselves. And that's after coming out of the Second World War and the Korean War. And it was such a horrible thing. And when you look at it, like the Vietnam War, we were told that if the Vietnam win, all of these negative things was going to happen in Southeast Asia. The Vietnamese won, and none of those things happened. What we were told was nothing but a lie. When we went into Iraq, first thing they told us was that Iraq was part of 9/11, and then that proved to be completely wrong. And then they said that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. That proved to be completely wrong. And then they said Iraq had killed 10,000 of his people. Okay, now Saddam Hussein killed 10,000 people, and so we go over there, bomb and kill 250,000 people. That straightens that right out, right? It don't make any sense. That's left brain thinking. Now, until we put the female back with God and the God inside of us, until we recognize the female's contribution, and when we learn to send energy to the female so she can create, and when the female learns what her job is, what she really is, when you learn what your job is, what that really is, then all of this killing each other and all of this, some people can't even understand what I'm about to say. I was looking on television today and they had this music playing, and they had these beautiful giraffes with this soft music, and they were eating off the trees and walking around there. They looked like they were in paradise. Now, I could never imagine shooting one of them giraffes. But yet, you can see pictures of people that shot a giraffe, and they're standing there for a picture smiling like they did something wonderful. We're not thinking alike. Our brains are completely different. When we try to go ahead and convince somebody of one thing, and they try to convince you of the opposite, and we can't get it together, we're not using all of our brain. We're not allowing ourselves to take the female part inside of us, and we'll take the male part inside of us and send energy to the female part inside of us and let the female create. We need to put that back in the Bible. We need to take out of the Bible the part about the forbidden fruit. We need to take that out. And we need to teach about the tree of the tree of life. Now, there are some people that have never read the Bible. There are some people that when they look at the earth, they look at it in the correct way. The things that we do to keep us from being balanced on this earth. It's like lightning strikes the earth 1,000 times a minute somewhere in this world. And this earth is like a big battery. When we walk barefoot on it, the energy comes from the earth and goes into our feet, and it balances our body. And it'll heal a lot of things in our body. But we have these rubber things called tennis shoes on our feet that blocks the energy from the earth, and we never get balanced that way. And then we drink all this fluoride. And when we look at the earth, we're creating with our mind, all right? But what we're creating is a nightmare. There are some people, like I said, in different parts of the earth that are trying to save the earth. People that had never got into this rat race that we're in, into this greed. You got people with $200 billion that won't give them their employees sick leave. This greed that we have, this sickness that we have. There are some people, there are groups of people that don't feel this way. There's some in South America. There's the sand people in the Sahara, not the Sahara Desert, but in the deserts over there in Africa, the sand people. And they can look into different dimensions. They know all about the stars, and they know so much more about life than we do. And I got so many things to say, but I'm not going to just, fill this thing up with stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there for now.